Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Ormond Beach, a welcoming community of compassion and acceptance. I am Ludi Goodson and I invite you to our virtual service this morning. The in-person discussion group and worship services usually held in our building have been suspended until further notice, and we will continue to hold discussion group at 9:15 a.m. and worship at 10:30 a.m. every Sunday on Zoom until it is safe to hold large group functions again in our building. Now, Reverend Kathy Turicki is our minister, and she's on board behind the scenes right now. And today, Ellen Nielsen is the guiding light for our inspiring water communion service. Now, if you are joining us for the first time this morning, we extend a special welcome to you, and we invite you to stay on the Zoom meeting after the service concludes, when many in attendance enjoy a bit of conversation with each other, and we would enjoy meeting you if you would like to introduce yourself at that time. We also invite you to see our website at uuormond.org. There you can look for the welcome button underneath the picture of our minister, Reverend Kathy, and there you'll find out how to get further connected with our congregation and learn more about Unitarian Universalism. Our opening words today come from Dan Gribben's song, Awakening.
What is time but the stream I go a-fishing in? What is time but the heron in the sky? What is time but the years I've wasted chasing it? But now it's time. Oh yes, it's time. Time for glimpses in the ripples at the water's edge. Time to listen to the heartbeat of a friend. Time to taste the essence of a woodland breeze, to feel the peace that loving arms extend. I have arrived. I am home, I am here, peace is now, I have arrived, I am home, peace is now, I have arrived, I am home, I am here, peace is now, I have arrived, I am home, peace is now. What is time but the stilling of the anxious voice? Once the fear of full awakening has gone, what is time but standing tall before a universe in the full and brave acceptance sons of the dawn. Between the ocean of the past and apprehension for tempests that the future may bring on, lies a deep and hidden valley of compassion for the present moment, strength to draw upon. I have arrived, I am home, I am here, peace is now. I have arrived, I am home, peace is now. I have arrived, I am home, I am here, peace is now. I have arrived, I am home, peace is now.
Before going on to the announcements, we do have a concern. Some of you may know Charlie Ferguson, a former member of our board, and the news that we have is that he is in hospice and he was unconscious when he went in. So we just ask that you keep Charlie in your thoughts. Now we go on to announcements for the good of our community. You'll always find the link to the Zoom Sunday morning discussion and service at our website, uuormond.org, and you'll find our calendar of activities there too during the week, and we value your presence with us, and we invite you to join us. We have some updates on renovations. Painting in the church has begun, and it should be finished this Monday or Tuesday. Carpeting installation is scheduled for Monday, October 19th, and if you'd like to help with sorting and putting away items that were emptied from the closets and cupboards, please let Julie Hilburn or Susan Garrison know, because they can then make sure that you're included in email announcements for related to that. We have another announcement about the second lifelong learning program, which is scheduled for this Wednesday, October 14th, and it starts at 4 p.m. With the topic 200 Years of Great Scientists, presented by William A. Hilburn, and you'll find the Zoom link on our website. Now, we also have begun a bi-weekly Zoom gathering called Honoring Our Lament, and all are welcome to join in naming the challenges, the sorrows, the worries, and the cares these unprecedented times bring into our lives. The next session will be October 20th at 5:30 to 7 p.m. and you can find out more about it at our website and in the October Jotter. Now, we know some of you do have concerns about mailing in your ballot. I want to just point out that if you want to get more information about the voting early time from October 19th to November 1st, just go to volusiaelections.org, and there you will see the list of places you can go to drop off your ballot. But some of you may have some other concerns. The mail-in ballots, they can be delivered during that early voting period, and they can be placed in a secure ballot box at the locations that are listed, like the Ormond Beach Library and then the Volusia Beach Library off of Magnolia. Many sites have drive-up services, and the mail-in ballot collection, though, is important to remember, is not available on November 3rd, Election Day. But we have volunteers who have offered to come to your home and pick up your mail-in ballot and deliver the ballot to an early voting site. And if you find that you have waited until election day to deliver your ballot, the ballot then must be delivered to the supervisor of elections in DeLand. And volunteers will do this as needed. They are Catherine Neal and Tom and Julie Hilburn, and you'll find their phone numbers in the directory. Now, for our last announcement, in the absence of a physical passing of the offering basket, at this time we invite you to make any smaller donations in honor of our virtual worship services or in financial support of the congregation through our donation button on our website with PayPal or credit card. And then for larger donations or pledge payments, we invite you to send checks to our congregation at the address 56 North Halifax Drive in Ormond Beach. Now, with the sound of the chime, our service begins. For our prelude, we have La Mer, performed by Janet Strumpus and recorded by Felix Fernandez. The words for our call to worship. You have arrived, you are home, you are here. Peace is now. We welcome you to our annual water communion in which we mark our turn from summer to fall, sharing our stories of water representing our outward and inward journeys, our communion with each other, and our stewardship of this precious earth. Now, as I light this chalice at home here, I invite you to light one of your own if you have one nearby. And as always, we ask that this flame inspire in us faith and courage to face these difficult times. And please join me in these chalice lighting words from Thich Nhat Hanh. Water flows from high in the mountains. Water runs deep in the earth. Miraculously, water comes to us and sustains all. Water and sun green these plants. When the rain of compassion falls, even a desert becomes an immense green ocean. And now let us recite our congregational covenant. Love is the spirit of this society, and service is its aim, to dwell together in peace and freedom, to seek the truth and to help one another. These are our goals. Today we have special music sung by a quartet of Barbara, Bruce, Susan, and Dan, and accompanied by Janet Stompus and recorded by Felix Fernandez.
I cannot get over.
Ellen Nielsen will lead the next part of this service. I'm going to spotlight her. There we go. Then she should be on your screen.
Hello, I'm Ellen Nielsen, and I will appear sooner or later. I invite you to join me in our virtual water communion. The Zoom technology we've been using for the last 6 months gives you this occasion to speak, if you wish, for about a minute. We'll use a format similar to what we use in the Sunday morning discussion group, but you'll speak for less time. When you are ready to speak, raise your hand. We'll be looking at multiple screens to see who's ready, but we'll try to keep up and acknowledge you in a timely way. When it's your time to speak, be sure that you've clicked the microphone symbol or the word unmute so that we'll be able to hear you. Pour out your water, real or imaginary. Then take a moment to tell us where it comes from and what it represents. When you're finished, mute your computer sound and we'll look for the next person to speak. If you hear a chime, that means you've been speaking for about a minute and it is time to let the next person to speak. That's a gentle reminder. So as you listen to each other, imagine all of our stories mingling together. I will begin. I have here some tap water, which is from my kitchen. And that's the water that I've been drinking for the last 6 months during the COVID pandemic. And I've also been washing my hands many times a day. And I'm so grateful that we have clean water to drink and clean water to wash with. And we know that many people do not. So I'm just grateful for this beautiful water. Thank you. Next person.
Kathy Jackson.
Thank you. I have pool water, which reminds me of the nature spiritual meditation that I practiced while swimming laps this summer. I have not traveled out of the Daytona area in 9 months, but my imagination has been to the clouds, to the planes in the sky, to the moon, the sun, and the planets. I have talked with the ravens as they watched me swim, and I have watched the hawks as they watched and sat quietly and hunted from high places.
Steve.
Yes, I have here a conglomeration of waters, and I always seem to be finding myself near large bodies of water. So I take a sample of everyone where I came from. I grew up on Lake Winnipesaukee in New Hampshire. I had a summer place up in Nova Scotia on an island that took 3 ferries just to get to. And also ended up on Nantucket, the island, another island, for 22 years. Some of that water is here. And finally, there's just a little bit of water taken from off the shores here, okay, off of Ormond Beach. And you can see it's half full, so I've got a long way to go. Thanks.
Harry?
Harry.
Yeah, Harry White here. My water comes from my heart in the form of tears shed this year for friends at our church and elsewhere who have departed. Also for the Black lives that were lost through police actions. I'm not anti-police, but I am anti-killing of people by police, and they're being protected. Godspeed. Harry.
Barbara?
This is for Charlie Ferguson. He was such a good friend. He is such a good friend. And we'll miss him so much. He did so much for everyone. Anything you would ask of him, he would do. He was such a good speaker, and he's just outstanding person, and such a loss that we have at the UU and at our house. It's such a loss. Thank you.
Linda Kalajian?
Sorry, this serves as kind of a warning to everybody and a lot of things. On September 19th, Mother Nature blessed us with a deluge of a rainfall that happened quite quickly. I needed to take my dog somewhere to walk her, so I dared to put her in the car and drove around the block and got caught in an incredible flood. I mean, literally 2 blocks I drove and was overcome by 2 feet of water on Marvin Road, which is one block west of A1A. It was about 2 feet deep. It was so deep that the dog would not get out of the car. So this is the warning part of it. But I also was blessed because the neighbors there in that neighborhood helped me enormously, contacting for help. And as a result of that, though they didn't even hear directly from me, the Taylors stepped up and said, well, you can borrow our car, because my car was totaled. I do not own my own car right now. I'm at the mercy of friends, and I am looking for one. So let that be a warning and blessing. And here's my water. There's a lot of water.
Scott McPherson.
Dan Kerr?
Yeah. I don't have water on me, but yesterday water played a very important role. I got caught in one of our infamous rainstorms as I was coming home from the food bank. I got some food, but the thing was, about a block away from my home, it just came down. And I was soaked to the skin. My bags, they tore, and it was just a mess. It was just a mess. But thankfully, some people helped me get my food over to my house, and as soon as I could, I was able to take a nice shower, get some clean clothes, and well, that was that. But let's just say I was very grateful for water at that time. Okay, that's it.
I think Dan Kerr was next.
Like Kathy, I too have pool water, This was taken directly from a beautifully landscaped waterfall that we have that flows into the pool. And every time I turn it on, I can count on visitors, squirrels, birds, doves, geckos, anything of nature, coming to share the water, to get a drink, to bathe in it. And it's gratefully a constant reminder that we are all connected. We are connected with each other, every life force on this beautiful blue planet. And so it's a constant reminder of the beauty of nature. So for that, I am very grateful.
Carolyn West has her hand up.
I have water from the Floridian aquifer that my well goes and penetrates about 150 feet below the surface of our land. And I want to remember how precious our aquifer is, because we are really about surrounded totally by the saltwater of the sea, of the ocean and the sea next to us. And that water will intrude and salt in our wells if we are not very careful about how we draw that water from our aquifer. So let's today bless that water and keep it safe. Thank you.
Susan?
Thank you, Ludi. I have here a bowl. It's my puppy's bowl. And I have to be so conscientious about keeping the water in there because they are dear, dear to me. And like all living things, they need their water. Sometimes it's the smallest thing, a cool drink of water and a warm, wet nose. So water means a lot. It means a lot, and it says love. And so this is my puppy's water. Thank you.
Russell?
Yeah, well, I don't have any water with me, so the imaginary water. But I'm thankful for, over the summer, I had a little bit of a big bout of depression and affected my lifestyle. But I'm grateful for the people and the medication that I should have been taking for getting me back on track. Hopefully the future will be bright. Thank you.
This water represents the waters of the Atlantic Ocean that lap the shores of Assateague Island near Ocean City, Maryland, where I spent some time this summer with my daughters and with my beloved Dawn's family. And it was a wonderful time of blending of children and grandchildren, for which I am very grateful. It was a wonderful and restful time. Thank you.
I think Deidre had her hand up.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So I just wanted to say hi. I don't come very often, but I came a few times last year. And so I was visiting again, but I'm very grateful for water, and I appreciate what somebody said about how water flows through every living thing and helps sustain every part of life, and we should appreciate it and keep it clean and everything. And I'm just extremely grateful to be here today, and I appreciate you all sharing. Thank you.
Martha is ready.
Yes, good morning. This is a shell from the ocean near where we live, and it came from water. I'm showing this today because this is Thich Nhat Hanh's birthday. And 10 years ago, Dan and I were so fortunate to spend a week with him, and I'll never forget his description of enlightenment. He said, "It is simply when the wave realizes it is ocean." Namaste to Thai on his birthday.
Is someone else ready? Patricia Snyder.
Hello. This is water from my faucet here in a town called Brunswick, New York, near the Albany area. The water here comes from a beautiful reservoir that's maybe 5 or 6 miles from my house. The reservoir was a natural lake that was dammed to make it bigger. It has a number of creeks that flow into it from the foothills of the Berkshires and the mountains along the eastern edge of New York State. It's a beautiful spot, and my husband and I are not going many places, but we do go for rides in the car sometimes just to get out of the house. And recently we went for a ride around this beautiful reservoir. There's all back roads there. It's quite undeveloped. And the fall foliage was just gorgeous, and the lake and foliage together was a combination that made us feel peaceful.
Okay, is someone else ready? Gaia? Okay, let's get you spotlighted here. There you go.
Let me see. Our sandhill cranes returned, and they returned partly because of the beautiful little lake that we have outside that has been such a joy to us during our time when we are so isolated. We have all these beautiful other birds that come and fish in or drink from or wander around the lake. And I'm very, very grateful for that lake. And we also have a new fountain on our lake that has just been installed recently. And I also wanted to say that Saturday, the 24th at 10 a.m., there's going to be a Zoom conference on restoring balance of Florida's water. Interested, email me and I'll send you the information.
Ellen, would you like to go on to the next part of the service?
If nobody else wants to speak about their real or imaginary water, we'll continue with the service. Let us celebrate the community which we've been able to hold together during this challenging time with these words from Rumi. Love is the water of life. Drink it down with your heart and soul. May it be so.
Now, we have the time to extinguish the chalice. And I invite you to share with me saying the words for extinguishing it. So we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Now, our benediction comes from Wendell Berry. When despair for the world grows in me, I wake in the night at the least sound of fear of what my life and my children's lives may be. I go and lie down where the wood drake rests his beauty on the water and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. For our postlude, we have The Skies Opened Up by David and Kristen Lanz, performed by Janet Strumpus and recorded by Felix Fernandez. This closes our water communion service. And now I think we're just going to be able to talk with each other as you wish.